it still works. Hey guys, we've got a beautiful gun here today. We're at the Vernon National Rifle Range. This is a Remington Model 722, chambered in .222 Remington Magnum. This was designed by Mike Walker in the 50s. This is probably a 1959 vintage Remington Model 722. They designed this gun at the time to compete with the Winchester Model 70 because they were getting their butts kicked, quite frankly, because the Model 70 was based on a Mauser action, very nice bolt and claw extractor setup. And what Walker decided to do was come up with this bolt configuration where this is very similar to the 40X 22 target rifle bolt. It's actually identical to it. And this was revered at the time as like a base point price gun. It was not a high-end gun compared to some of the other guns that were out there. But now you flash forward 57 years, this gun is of high quality compared to the things that you can get today. By 1962, he created the Remington 700, which everybody knows there's probably millions of them made over the course of the time that they've been in production. They're still in production. Military uses them. They're used for target. Very attractive action and barrel. If you notice here, there's a very good transition from the barrel into the receiver. I have a lot of Savages and they use barrel nuts, and these are a little bit different. But some of the other accomplishments that Mike Walker did, the guy that created this, he designed the Remington 222, which is probably revered as one of the most accurate 22 calibers out to 100 yards. That was the foundation of the 222 Remington Magnum that this is chambered in, as well as probably gave the individual who designed the 223, that's where that cartridge design came from. And I think that Mike Walker probably deserves a certain amount of credit for that. Today I've got a target set out to 200 yards. I fired one shot, got it on the paper, made an adjustment with my sights, and I'm going to do a 5-shot 200-yard group with a 57-year-old firearm made by Remington Arms in their heyday. Oh, and Walker also designed with Jim Steckel the 6BR, which is probably revered as one of the most accurate rifle cartridges in the world. If it seems like I'm a little excited about this gun and Mike Walker and Remington Arms, it's because that was at a time that things were happening, and there was really no shortage of innovation and design. And quality was really right up there. This gun has a nice cheek piece on it, standard grade wood, beautiful trigger, probably down to 1.5 pounds or so, very crisp. It's topped with a Weaver 6-powered fixed crosshair, fine. You look through it, you almost looks like you're looking through a Vortex or a, I don't know, I'll be reaching here saying the Schmidt and Bender. It's not that good, but I mean, for optics of the day, this was average, but for nowadays, it blows a lot of the new scopes out of the water, and you're talking over 50 years old, that optic is. I'm going to do a 5-shot group. We'll go down and take a look. Like I said, there's already one on the paper, so I'll do 5 and see what happens. Wind is pretty good today, so we'll see what kind of accuracy this thing gets. So here's the 200-yard group. Fired that one at the target. Made about a 2.5-inch adjustment, 3-inch adjustment over this way, and 3 inches up. Fired 6 shots.
pretty good grouping there if I could have tied that mess together. Here's 5 on it at 400, almost a quarter of a mile away. Probably 5-shot group. And the wind is blowing. It's time for excuses, but I can tell you, for a 22 in this kind of wind today, that's very, very accurate. This is something that's kind of interesting. If you take a look, each one of those cases has a little ring, like a little area. And what that is that's exactly where the shoulder on the 204 Ruger was before we bumped it back. So that'll give you an idea where the shoulder was and where we bumped it back to. I have an older rifle and ammunition isn't readily available. What I had to do on this one was grab the 204 Ruger case and I ran a 224 expander mandrel through it, full length sized it, and then ran the mandrel through again, and then I had a correctly dimensioned 222 Remington Magnum. The 222 Remington Magnum is the 204 Ruger's parent case, so that's a very, very easy modification to make. Little history behind this 222 Rem Mag. Let's compare it to something we're all very familiar with. That's an XM855 green tip. And at the time, these two were kind of in the running for the AR-15 platform. Originally, the 222 Remington Magnum's name was the 224 Springfield. There would have been a chance that all of the AR-15 platforms could have been running on the 222 Remington platform, but if you think about it and look at the two of those designs there, you can see how the 223 platform is much better. It's got a shorter neck, a lot more abrupt, would feed better through an automatic system, and it's just sometimes how things work out. Had not design and development gone into this 223 case, there's a good chance that everybody'd be running around with 222 Remington Magnums for the cartridge for the AR-15 platform. Maybe, maybe not.